Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to become part of my beautiful subscribers, and let's just get right into it. Today I'm going to be drawing male torsos because it's something I've been learning recently, so I decided why not incorporate it into a sketch with me. I'm going to be talking about what I find easy and difficult when it comes to drawing male torsos, and I'm just going to give you guys advice. A little disclaimer though is I probably won't be able to give you as much advice as I really want to because I'm still learning myself and I'm like nowhere near professional, but I will provide you with as much information as I can. I'm going to start with 3 quick sketches, and then I'm going to go into a more in-depth sketch at the end, which includes the head, torso, and arms. I decided to start with 3 sketches because, truth be told, I'm kind of rusty. I was just so crammed with finals last semester that I found it hard to really sit down and draw. So I want to start with a couple of exercises before I get into the actual drawing. I'm also going to give you guys 3 helpful tips when drawing the male torso. The first thing I would say when drawing the male torso is to have somewhat of a good understanding of anatomy. I know you've probably heard this more times than you can count, but trust me when I say that you will see such a huge improvement in your art. What you're seeing that I'm drawing right now is something I would not have been able to draw a year ago if I hadn't just sit down and forced myself to really study the male anatomy. Surprisingly, I have a lot more knowledge of the male figure, and the reason why I say that and why it's so surprising to me is because when I first started drawing, I had absolutely no understanding of the male figure. I would just simply draw what I saw without really knowing where any landmarks were or muscle structures. I was just way more focused on female characters and the feminine aesthetic. So when I started to get more serious about art, I decided that it's very important for me to learn both. I want my art to be like versatile and open to anyone, and I really don't want to limit myself, so I had to push through it. And because we're all humans, transferring what you know from one gender to the next is fairly easy. For example, if you know where the deltoids are located on a male character, you can locate the exact muscle on a female character. Obviously, there will be some differences, like perhaps the male character will have a larger deltoid compared to the female character, but for the most part, it's self-explanatory. The second thing you would want to do is to look at reference photos. While I was doing these sketches, I was looking at references on Pinterest. I really like Pinterest. There's just a lot of options that you could go through, and sometimes I like to study how other artists draw, or I like to just draw from life. I would say drawing from life is important when learning to draw literally anything because that's where you'll get most of your information from. Some artists like to stylize, so you might miss some things that they chose not to put in their work that you just might want to put in yours. So when you're starting out, I would really recommend to primarily look for references from life. Lastly, repeat, and repeat. In order to master any skill, you really have to include repetition in your process. I have probably drawn and seen over 50 male torsos, but because I'm constantly drawing that specific subject, I see myself improving every single time I sit down and draw. So these are some of the tips I want to provide you with, and if you apply them to your art, you'll thank me later. I'm just kidding. Of course, I won't take all the credit. I definitely learned so much from so many other creators, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram. You should also have people you look up to and people that inspire you to keep going with whatever you do, whether that's learning the guitar or the ukulele. You just want something to keep you going. As you can see, I'm writing a little note next to my sketch. I like to write little notes and like little doodles sometimes to look back on and laugh, and also just to know what I was thinking while I was drawing that specific subject. Alright, we're on to the last exercise. Now I'm going to be talking about some things that I find difficult about drawing the male torso or figure drawing in general, and that is form. I am terrible at form. I have a hard time looking at things in 3-dimensional shapes, but it's something I gotta work on. For example, I started with the box figure to draw the back. I don't usually start with boxes or geometric shapes, but for this one I felt it was worth a try. You can really see me struggling throughout, but I kept going because we're not quitters on this channel. We don't quit. I mean, maybe sometimes. But yeah, I just need to start using more forms in my drawings. Some things that I find easy though are how rigid male torsos are. I don't know how to explain it, but there's not as much points of curves compared to female torsos, so it just makes everything more straightforward. I also like to play around with arm muscles and how big or tiny I make them. It could change a character drastically when you play around with just fat and muscles. But the thing that I don't like when drawing male torsos is drawing abs, because every time I draw abs, somehow my drawings look homeless and starving. I've really got to work on that. Anyway, I'm about done with these exercises and I'll start on the full drawing now. I most likely won't include commentary, so please enjoy the relaxing music as I draw, and I will see you in next week's video. If you have any questions or video suggestions, leave them down in the comments. Again, please give this video a like and remember to subscribe. Until next time, beautiful people.